So welcome to the third session of gate minimization and combinational logic. So we already have seen how to simplify the Boolean expression by using Karnaugh map, and this is the third technique, which is Queen-Mesclay or tabulation method. Very interesting method to solve. So we'll see what is this Queen-Mesclay and tabulation method. So before going to this, I'm again repeating it. If an expression is given to you, whether it is in sum of product or product of sum, you're going to apply three techniques to make it minimize. That is what we call it as gate level minimization. So gates, number of gates that are used and or gates will be reduced. So the second method is Karnaugh map, third method is Queen-Mesclay tabulation method, and the first one is Boolean algebra. So any expression can be minimized with these three techniques. And the technique number one, Boolean algebra, when the variables, Boolean variables are A, B, C, or any three variables that are there in the Boolean expression, then we go with Boolean algebra. And if it is 3 to 6 variables, then we go with Karnaugh map. And if it is more than 6 variables, then generally we go with Queen-Mesclay tabulation method. Okay? In the real world, all the computer algorithms will work on this tabulation or Queen-Mesclay method in order to design the circuits. Okay, right? So now we see this tabulation method or Queen-Mesclay method. So there are procedures that you have to follow for this Queen-Mesclay method, and the Queen-Mesclay method, tabular method or tabulation method, we see here that the min terms that we are going to take are to be arranged in the ascending order. Okay, and to make the groups based on the groups that are there. So as you people are aware of how to form the groups in Karnaugh map, that is quads or octet or pairs. So in the same way here also the groups are based on the number of ones that are represented in binary representation, and generally it is like n plus 1 groups will be there, or we can have n Boolean variables or n bit of the binary min terms, right? So this is step number 1, and the step number 2 is you are going to have this min terms that are to be compared between the successive groups. We'll see with an example so that it will be easy for you to minimize the expression. So now when there is a change in 1 bit position, then the pair of those min terms will be represented with underscore symbol. Okay, this is the second step when there are change in 1 bit positions. And then this particular step 2 is repeated until we get all prime implicants. Prime implicants are the expressions or terms that we are generating which are in the simplified Boolean expression. Okay, and then step 4 is the prime implicant table must be written, and then in that particular set of rows and columns you are going to place prime implicants in row and min terms in columns, and we will be placing a particular x in the corresponding cells to the min terms that are covered in each prime implicant. So based on the prime implicants that we write in the row, the corresponding min term will have an x, which means that there is a relation exists between that. We can see that in a coming example. And then the essential prime implicants for each column must be taken, and that is what we call it as essential prime implicants. We'll see what is essential prime implicants. Essential prime implicants are the implicants that are in the final expression. And then finally the last step is reduce the prime implicant table or chart by removing the rows of each essential prime implicants and then the columns corresponding to the min terms. Okay, so as I told you that the rows will have prime implicants and the column will have min terms. So based on that we will be reducing it, and finally repeat this fifth step from the prime implicant table, and that is a reduced Boolean expression. Okay, this is the steps that you have to follow, these 6 steps that you have to follow in order to minimize using Queen-Mesclay or tabulation method. Okay, this is very interesting problem. We will be seeing it how to solve this. So now the problem number 1, here you can see that the question is given in that you can see min terms are there. So this particular sigma or this particular small m represents that the question is in SOP form, that is sum of product form, right? So now for this particular question we have to use the Queen-Mesclay tabulation method to solve the problem. So first step is list out all the min terms that are there in that given expression. So the min terms are, we will be dividing that into min term, and binary representation as the first table. Binary representation. This is the first table that you are going to write down. So we are listing all the prime terms that are there in the given question. So that is M0. So the binary representation of 0 is 0, 0, 0, 0, and then M2, which is 0, 0, 1, 0. These are the binary representation of the particular min terms. Then M3, which is 0, 0, 1, 1, and then M6, which is 0, 1, 1, 0, and then M7, which is 0, 1, 1, 1, and then M8, which is 1, 0, 0. So you are going to write all the binary representation of the particular min terms. So now next M10. So M10 is 8 and 2 will be given 1. So 1, 0, 1, 0 will be the binary representation of min term 10. And then M12, you are going to write 1, 1, 0, 0. And then finally M13, which is 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1. That is the representation of min terms, right? So this is the step number 1, right? Now step number 2, what you are going to do is, you have to segregate or make into consecutive successive groups with the number of ones in the binary representation as 0 or 1 or 2 or 3, so on. So now you can see in this in the whole binary representation or for the corresponding min terms, here M0 is not having any number of ones. So this is something like we are going to generate one more table with min terms considering number of ones, right, in an ascending order. And now we are going to write binary representation. Right? So now based on this, you are going to segregate the entire min terms. So now you see this particular M0 is the first one, right? 0, 0, 0, 0, right? So next, are there any kind of no zeros, no ones are there? So only this particular min term M0 is having no ones. And now the min terms which are having only one must be taken. So you can see that M2 will be having 1, and then M8 will be having 1, right? So M2 and M8, right? So only these two are there. So now we'll write M2. So M0 is also completed, just have a small tick mark. M2, so we are going to write 0, 0, 1, 0, and then M8, which is 1, 0, 0. So M2 and M8 are completed, which means that this is a group with 0 number of ones. This is a group with 1 number of ones, and now we'll check for 2 number of ones. That is how you are going to construct the table 2. And now you can see M3 is having 2 number of ones, and then M6 is having 2 number of ones. So we'll be writing first M3, which is 2 number of ones. So 0, 0, 1, 1. And what about M6? That is also having 2 number of ones. So 0, 1, 1, 0. And any more that is having 2 number of ones. M7 is 3, and this is M10, right? So M10, min term M10. So M10. So in the with 1, 0, 1, 0, and then any more? Yes, M12 is there. So M12, because M12 also has 2 number of ones. So we are going to write 1, 1, 0, 0. So now I hope that 2 number of ones, I think we have completed all. And finally, we'll go with the 3 number of ones that are there in the binary representation of the min terms. So only M7 and M13 are balanced. So we are going to write M7, which is 0, 1, 1, and then M13, which is 1, 1, 0, 1. So this is how the second particular table has been generated based on number of ones. Now we are going to generate a third table. We are going to generate a third table. So you can see that it is a min terms that are based on number of ones we have divided them into groups. Now, in the third table, we have to find the matched pairs. Okay, so we'll say matched pair minterms. So how to construct this matched pair minterms with its binary representation? We will see now. Okay, binary representation and matched pair minterms. So now you are going to match the successive groups. So this is one group, this is one group, this is one group, and this is one group. So in order to form the new matched pair minterms, you have to match M0 with M2 and M0 with M8. If there is only one bit position that is able to match, then we can have a matched pair. So for example, if you take M0, which is 0, 0, 0, 0, and M2 as 0, 0, 1, 0, you can see only third bit is having a bit position, there is a change in the bit position. So that particular bit position, you have to replace it with the underscore. So that is the reason why I'm going to write now M0, or now onwards I am representing with 0, 2, which is the minterms, and 0, 2, tell me what is the binary representation for this. So you can see here that it is 0, 0, and underscore 0. So you can see that the third position is having a bit change, so that particular bit position is now replaced with underscore, right? So now you can see in the third, in the next step, so once you have made a matched pair, you can have a small tick mark representing that these are already been checked for the matched pair, okay? A small tick mark or check mark, okay? And now M0 and M8, which are like the terms that you are going to compare. Now it is 4 zeros and M8 is 1 triple 0. So first position is having a bit flip. Only one particular bit position is there. So that you have to write it as a matched pair. So 0, 8, you are going to write something like, so look at it, underscore 0, 0, 0. So I have generated a 4 bit representation for the matched pairs. Okay, so we completed this, okay, and a small tick mark because 8 is also considered. Now we will see this particular group with this particular group. Are you getting it? So this particular group with this particular group. So we will check in such a way that only one bit position has to differ, and that bit position must be replaced with underscore, right? So now you will check here it is M2, which is M2 0, 0, 1, 0, and you can check that M2 can be compared with M3. So M2, M3 if you compare, so first position is same, second position is same, third position is same, but fourth position differ by that bit position, right? 0 and 1. So that is the reason why you are going to have a small tick mark for 3, and you are going to write 2, 3, and for 2, 3 you are going to replace it with 0, 0, 1 hyphen, 0, 0, 1 underscore or hyphen. Okay, then finally now 2 and 3 completed. Now 2 with 6. Is there any possibility that it can form as a group? Yes. So 0, 0, 1, 0, and M6 is 0, 1, 1, 0. So now the second position of that particular group is having a change of the bit position. So we are going to replace it with underscore. Right now I'm going to write, so 2, 6. So since there is a match pair, you are having a small tick mark, and now 0, 0 is 0, and 0, 1 is underscore, and here 1, so 1, and then 0. So now you understood how you are getting a matched pair from the previous successive table. So these particular successive groups are compared with one another. Now you see that M2 can be compared with M10. Is there any possibility that M2 can be compared with M10? Yes. So M2 is 0, 0, 1, 0. M10 is 1, 0, 1, 0. So 0, 1, 0 are common. The first bit is having a change. So that is why we are going to have 2, 10. So 210, tell me what is the binary representation of 210? That is underscore 0, 2, 10, right? So 2, 10, underscore 0, and 1, 0. And now even 10 will have a tick mark because that is part of a matched pair minterm. Now you can compare 2 with 12. So I hope that this is clear. Now 2 with 3, 2 with 6, 2 with 10, and 2 with 12, we are just checking whether if the pair exists, then we will be writing it. So now you see M2 cannot have a pair with M12 because only one bit has to be changed. But here 0, 0, 1, 0, and here 1, 1, 0, 0. So first position change, second position change, third position change. So we are not going to consider 12. That is a pair of 2 and 12. Did you get that logic? So that is the important logic. And And now M8 to M3 and M8 to M6 and M8 to M10 and M8 to M12 also must be checked. We will check whether it exists a pair or not. So M8, M3, so no pair. M8 is 1 0 0 0, M3 is 0 0 1 0, so no chance. So M8 is 1 0 0 0 and M6 is 0 1 1 0, so no possibility because 3 bits change is there. And now 8 and 10 you can compare. So 8 and 10, 8 is 1 0 0 0 and 10 is 1 0 1 0. So there is only third position, there is a small bit position change. So we are going to compare this 8 and 10. So now the next matched pair that we got is 8 comma 10. So 8 comma 10, now you can check. That is 1 1 underscore 0 0. So the rest of the bits you are going to write as usual. It is the same process. And now 8 10 completed. So 10 already have a tick, 8 already have a tick. So no need to have an extra tick. So that is a check mark. And M8 and M12. So you can see that M8 and M12. M8 is 1 0 0 0. M12 is 1 1 0 0. So second position is having a bit change. So only second position is having. The rest all the bits are same. So you are going to compare that. And now having a tick mark and writing the 8 comma 12. So what is 8 comma 12? 8 comma 12. Now can you people tell me what is 8 comma 12? So that is 1 underscore 0 0. So now I have generated again a matched pair. And now by this the second group of the column number 2, table number 2 and the third group are all completed. All the matches have been checked and verified. And now next we are going to check for the next group. That is the third part and the fourth one. So you are going to compare M3 with M7, M3 with M13 and then M6 with M13, M7 and M13. So same wise M10, M7, M3, M12. So all combinations you are going to check. If there is one bit position change, then those things will be copied to the third table. Is it clear? So now we'll check whether they are common or not. So M3 and M7, you can have a commonality that is 0 0. Second position is a change and third and fourth positions remains the same. So I'm having a small tick mark and I'm going to write this particular 3 comma 7. 3 comma 7. So what is the value that you are going to write? That is 0 underscore 1 1. 0 underscore 1 1. So I have completed one more matched pair. And now we are coming to 3 and 13. 3 and 13, there is no possibility because many bits are in opposite direction. So we cannot consider it. And now we will compare that 6 and 7. 6 and 7. So 6 and 7, yes, there is a possibility. 6 and 7. So we are going to write 6 and 7. 6 and 7. So what will be the possibility? 6 and 7. 6 is 0 1 1 0 and 7 is 0 1 1. So we are going to write it as 0 because 6 and 7, right? So 6 and 7, 0 1 1 and hyphen, right, or underscore. So now we are going to replace it with 6 and 7. So since 7 is also part of matched pair, I have made a small tick mark. And now 6 with 13. 6 with 13, is there any possibility that 6 with 13? So there is no possibility as 6 with 13 have two different bit positions, so not possible. And now 10 and 7. 10 and 7 you are going to compare, in which 10 1 0 1 0 and 7 is 0 1 0 1 1. So there are two many bit positions changes are there. So it is not possible. And then 10 with 13. 10 with 13, 1 0 1 0 with 1 1 0 1. So there is no possibility, right? So even that particular matched pair you cannot consider it in the new table. And then finally 12 7, not possible because there are many mismatches. And then finally 12 and 13. 12 and 13, I think there is a match that you can apply. So you are having a tick mark. And 12 13, that is the last matched pair that you are going to write. So 12 comma 13 is equal to, so 12 is 1 1 0 0 and 13 is 1 1 0 1. So you are going to get 1 1 0 1 1 0 and hyphen. This is how you have to construct the matched pair minterm. Is it clear? So please have a look over it. The first table is the minterms that you are going to write down, and for the minterms you are going to write minterms with a binary representation with considering number of ones in ascending order. And then in the third table that you are going to generate, you are going to find out the matched pair minterms, and then the matched pair minterms can be represented in this particular binary representation. So this is the 3 steps that you have generated, and from that you are going to generate a fourth one. So right, so we have already generated the third step and third table, that is the matched pair minterms. and from that matched pair minterms, you are going to again find out whether any further matches can be made or not. So we can see that here 0, 2 and 0, 8 belongs to the first group, and 2, 3, 2, 6, 2, 2 10, 8, 10, 8, 12 deals with the second group, and 3, 7, 6, 7, 12, 13 represents the third group. So now again you have to make a pair-wise checking from the successive groups. So now you can compare this and this and this, so on, right? So if there is any chance of having a pair, that particular pair can be written in the fourth step, because the third step is repeated until there are no further elimination of literals. Literals means that positions that they cannot be eliminated. Okay, so now we see 0, 2 can have a relation with any of the next successive group. So 0, 2, 0, 0, underscore 0. So it is better that if you start comparing the two successive groups with the underscore. So underscore is there in third position. So that particular third position you check. It is better that you can find a match, because only one bit position has to be deferred. But here underscore. So there is a possibility that 0, 2 can have a relation with 8, 10. So other possibilities are not available, because third bit is underscore and the third bit you have to check. So 0, 2 and 8, 10 can have a possibility. So 0, 2, 8, 10. So now you tell me the bit positions. Since it is third bit is underscore, both are same, but the first bit position is different. So we will be writing it underscore 0 and then underscore 0. This is the new matched pair that we have generated from the existing matched pair minterm table. Okay, so now we already made a check mark, because we have generated a new matched minterm from the existing one. So 0, 2 and 8, 10 will have a tick mark. In the same way, 0, 8 and 2, 10 also will generate the same matched pair minterm. So we'll be having a tick mark 0, 8 and 2, 10, right? So 2, 10. Even these are completed, right? So now you can check for the other terms, which if there exists any matched relation of minterms, you can extract it, right? Now now we see, is there any other possibilities that like 0, 8, 2, 10 already completed, right? So now we'll check for the any other possibility it is there or not. So 0, 8, this is the first bit is underscore. So the first bit underscore is 2, 10. So that is the only possibility that we can have from this particular two successive groups of the particular third matched pair minterm table. Okay. Now since this particular all possibilities are checked, so there are no more other possibilities that you can extract a matched pair minterm. So now this particular group is completed. Now we'll go with the next group. That is this particular thing with this, and then this. So all alternative pairs you have to match it. Now you can see here, this is the fourth position, there is an underscore. So if any fourth position is there, you can consider that, because only those can have a chance of pair. So you see here 2, 3, it is 0, 0, 1 underscore, and 6, 7 is 0, 1, 1 underscore. So underscore you can compare, but right, it can have a match. It can have a match, because 2, 3 it is 0, 0, 1 underscore, and 3, 7. Sorry, not 3, 7, it is 6, 7, it is 0, 1, 1 underscore. So there is a change in which position? The second position. So you can write that, right? So now I'm going to write 2, in an order you can also write, right? 2, 3, 6, 7. So now tell me what is 2, 3? It is 0, 0, 1 underscore, and 6, 7 is 0, 1, 1 underscore. So first bit is 0, it is okay. Second bit it is 0 here, it is 1 here, so underscore. And next it is 1 and then underscore. Did you get it? How to extract a matched pair minterm from the existing table. So now this particular two things will be having a small tick mark, because we have extracted a matched pair. So 2, 3 completed and 6, 7 also completed. In the same way, you can also have 2, 6 and 3, 7, right? So 2, 6 you can see second place underscore is there, and 3, 7 second place underscore is there, and if you take this, you will get the same data. So even 2, 6 you can have a tick mark, and 3, 7 also you can have a tick mark. Did you get it? So any other minterms that you can extract, the minterm pairs, so there is no possibility. I hope that everything is completed over there. So the left out minterms are total So here also we have left it, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 minterms. We have not extracted any other matched pairs. So these 4 are called prime implicants. Okay, did you get it? So we'll be writing the fifth step as what are the prime implicants? List of prime implicants. So list of prime implicant table, prime implicants. So there is no further elimination of or getting a new data. So we are going to write all the prime implicants. I am writing with pi, which is the prime implicant, and then it's binary representation. Okay, binary representation. Okay, what is the first pi? That is this particular row which is not been part of the check mark. So we will be writing 8 comma 12 and the corresponding binary location 1 underscore 0 0, and then the second one is 12 comma 13, and that is 1 1 0 underscore, which is this part. So I am going to mark it, otherwise this is unmarked, this is unmarked, and you can check here there is no possibility of having a relation. So that is why you cannot have further matchings. Okay, so this is also unmarked and this is also unmarked. So these 4 prime implicants I am going to write. So here it is 0 2 8 10. So it will be underscore 0 underscore 0, and next 2 3 6 7, which is 0 underscore 1 underscore. So hope this is clear. So list of prime implicants are ready, and the last step, which is important step, which is called prime implicant chart. You are going to write prime implicant chart, and in the row you are going to write PIs, which is prime implicants, and in the column wise you are going to write minterms. So now we will see how you are going to solve this problem. So prime implicants are 8 12 and then 12 13 and then 0 2 8 10 and then 2 3 6 7, 2 3 6 and 7. So you can see all the minterms that are there in the question. 0 2, so this is minterm 0, minterm 2, minterm 3, minterm 6, minterm 7, minterm 8, minterm 10, 12 and 13. So now you have constructed a prime implicant chart. So in this particular chart, you just map the corresponding prime implicants to the corresponding minterms. So 8 and 12. So 8 is here, 8 is here, so X mark, and then 12 is there, X mark. Okay, so that is how you are going to draw a chart based on row and column. Prime implicants as row and minterms as column and X mark. Now tell me for 12 and 13, you can have lines here. Now you can tell me what is for 12 and 13. So 12 is here, 13 is here. So 2 X marks I have already done. In the same way 2, 8, 0, 2, 8 and 10. So 0, 2, 8 and 10. So hope you got it, how to map or how to plot this particular implicant chart, prime implicant chart, and then 2 3 6 7. So 2, 3 and 6 and 7. So the first step after completing the prime implicant chart, the first step is check for the columns which is only having one particular X. Okay, so which column is having one particular X? For example, if you consider this is X, right? And then for this 1X. Okay, so first of all we have identified in the column M0, that is the first X. So whenever a particular X is marked and that is only one in that particular column, have a tick mark for the minterm as well as have a star mark here. Have a star mark here, which means that we are considering it as an essential prime implicant, which means it's a part of expression. Okay, we'll see how it is done. The possible minterms are 0 to 8, 10. So have a tick mark on the particular minterms. Did you get it? The first X from the column, the corresponding minterm, and that particular minterms are to be have a tick mark. So M0 completed, M2 completed, M8 completed, and M10 completed. So this is how you have to mark first one. Is it clear? So first X is completed. Next one, this particular column is having a single X mark, right? So select that, and the corresponding one you can select it. This is a essential prime implicant. And now 2, 3, 6, 7. So 2 is already marked. 3 have a mark, and 6 have a mark, and 7 have a mark. Did you get it? So now this particular X mark with the corresponding prime implicants and min times are marked. Now check for the another X in a column which is only 1 in nature. So you can see that these are already marked, so no need to mark this X's and directly go to this column or unmatched column. So M12 it is having 2X, so you cannot consider it, and M3 is having 1X, so you can consider it. The corresponding one can be treated as a prime implicant. And now for that particular min term selection, 13 and 12, so 13 and 12. So there are no min terms that are left. So these three will become essential prime implicants, and this will become only prime implicant. Okay, so from the table, the unchecked pair will be prime implicants, but here you are going to check essential prime implicants. So this will be the part of the final expression. Okay, so now you can see that this particular three things we can form an expression, right? So 12, 13, you can see what is the binary representation of 12, 13? It is 1, 1, 1, 1, 0 underscore. And then what about the second prime implicants? Because these are the selected prime implicants as per the prime implicant chart. Now tell me what will be the second essential prime implicant. These three are essential prime implicants. The second one will be 0, 0, 0, and then the final one will be plus the last prime implicant 0 underscore 1 underscore. So the final representation of this expression will be y is equal to what is 1, 1, 0 underscore, which means a, b, c bar, right? But generally this binary representation are of 4 variables a, b, c, d. So that is how this a, b, c, d, most significant bit, less significant bit. So a, b, c bar. The first term is completed. This is completed. And the next one is, so underscore 0 underscore 0, which means that is b, d bar. So plus b bar, d bar plus. The third one, you can have this as 0 underscore 1 underscore, which means a bar, c. This is the final expression you have derived using the Queen-Mesclay or tabulation method. Is it clear? Now again I'm going to repeat the step. Here the third table you have generated, from that you have generated the fourth table, and then list of prime implicants are derived from the third matched pair prime min terms, and then from that prime implicant chart is designed. In that we are going to select the essential prime implicants, and that particular essential prime implicants will be the part of the expression. So this particular expression is a simplified expression, right? So this is the final output, the simplified expression using Queen-Mesclay tabulation method. Or right. So this is the second problem. As you have understood how to solve the Queen-Mesclay tabulation method, but this problem we will be having a don't care condition. So that is the important one that you have to consider, don't care condition. So the don't care conditions are already there. So min terms plus don't care conditions, you are going to solve the problem. So while solving this problem with the don't care conditions, you have to construct a step 1. So the same binary min terms that you have taken, binary representations. From this particular table, you are going to construct a arrange min terms with the considering number of ones. So based on the priority of number of ones, you are going to construct a min term table. And then from this particular table, so this is the first step, this is the second step, and from this you are going to construct a third step, which is where you are going to have an underscores and all that. So you can have a reference for that. Pause this video and try to work out, and then you can compare with the data, right? So this is a third step, and fourth step is repeating this particular process until you get the matched pair. This is the final one I have got in the step 3. So you can compare it, and these don't care conditions are also the part of min term table and calculation part and all that. So now this is the first 3 steps, and now going to the second step. Second step, you can have the fifth step as follows like this, which is also a part of don't care conditions. So you are going to construct a new prime implicant prime implicant matched pair with that of binary representation. And finally, you're going to get step 6, where you're going to match the minterms and the prime implicants with row and column, right? So the first one, that the single row, you will select this, and you're going to select this as I kept the star mark. Based on this, 2, 3 will be selected. So 2 and 3 will be selected, and then we'll check for the another x, which is only 1 in a column. So you'll be checking out no x are there. So we'll compare again the first term. You'll select this because this particular have more number of minterms. So we'll be selecting this, and you'll be marking 1, 3, 9, and 11. Hope 11 is not there because those are don't care conditions. So in the don't care conditions, you're going to not compare all these things. So excluding don't care conditions in the prime implication chart is the most important rule. And based on this particular selections and all that, so these 5, we have to consider it as a essential prime implicants, and based on that, you're going to extract this data. Thank you. So have a work on it, right? Thank you.